Hello, class is in session. Let's learn and discover together. So today I was shuffling the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle. Here is the guide bag. The package itself, or the box itself, it's made of tin. It's quite glossy, so it won't be very easy for you to see it. 2 cards fell out. Black egg and oyster. Okay, so I started going down the rabbit hole of research. Let's start with the black egg first. I wrote down a lot of notes in regards to this. Let's first read from the guidebook. Okay, black egg, speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in. Books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet crossed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. And here's a diagram. The epicenter of truth. The black egg and the 5th chakra, so that's the throat chakra. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat, at the Vishuddha chakra. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Strong emphasis on truth, right? So what stood out to me while reading this? I took some notes. Authentic voice. Truth. I wrote that out in capital letters. So that made me think. Straight shooter. Doesn't beat around the bush. Boldness. Sovereignty. Personal power. Here's one of the phrases that stood out to me. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. Vessel being our bodies, right? And then I went on to write, you harbor only that which rings true, for you are here to live in truth, to be true to yourself, to live in integrity. Also, what else stood out to me? Sounds draw us in. There's mention of sounds. I underlined that. Sounds draw us in. Sounds made me think of clairaudience, music, healing frequencies. You may be clairaudient, or about to discover that you are. What else stood out to me? we start asking questions. So that made me think, okay, you're philosophical, self-reflective. You like to investigate, research, arrive at your own conclusions and interpretations. You don't take things at face value. You're a deep thinker and feeler. You perceive beyond the five senses. And of course, looking at this image here, the word black, it made me think of shadow work. And I went on to write, you're not afraid of the dark. And look at this image here. The egg, the black egg, is surrounded by light. The light is enveloping the egg in a protective glow. And that made me think, the light is even more apparent. It shines brighter because of the dark. That made me think of shadow and light, right? How shadow and light need each other. There is a symbiotic relationship between shadow and light. Light and shadow and light are interconnected, not separate. Before I move on, now there's a strong emphasis on truth, and there is mention, and this may have resonated with you. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. So you may be one or more of these things that I just mentioned here. You may enjoy writing. You may be a writer. You may love reading. You may be a teacher, or that is part of your purpose here. May not be in a traditional sense. But you are here to share your knowledge somehow in a creative way. Perhaps you have a beautiful singing voice. You are musically talented. But there's a strong message here when reading about the black egg on using the throat chakra. You are meant to use your throat chakra. Let's see what else, and if nothing else, we will move on. Just again, repeating, the balance of this center, the throat chakra, is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. They also mention public speakers, right? Okay. Now, what else stuck out at me when I was looking at this image was this, can you see this silvery foiled circle? So that made me think, black pearl. So I went down a rabbit hole. So, because Spirit is always communicating with us, right? You never know. So listen for any synchronicities and messages that are meant for you. Because you may feel nudges, right? From your intuition. From what you already can feel within. This will only be confirmation if anything resonates with you. Okay, so let's read about the spiritual meaning of black pearls. Okay, there are, let's see, 5 points. Number 1, transformation. Black pearls are powerful symbols of personal change and resilience. They represent the journey from discomfort to beauty. Discomfort to beauty. Much like how a pearl is formed through an oyster's response to irritation. Interesting how. The second card. These two cards fell out together when I was shuffling. The oyster fell out as well. And I didn't know until I was doing research on the black pearl, and then I realized the association with the oyster. Okay. Let me just start over. I keep interrupting myself. I apologize. They represent the journey from discomfort to beauty, much like how a pearl is formed through an oyster's response to irritation. Meaning, requiring agitation in order to transform into something of beauty. Discomfort to beauty, right? This transformation encourages individuals to embrace new beginnings and adapt to life's challenges. You may be at the beginning of a new cycle. Number 2, wisdom and intuition. These gems are often associated with deep understanding and insight. That stood out to me. Clairvoyance, clear inner sight. You likely are clairvoyant. You likely have multiple clairs, but clairvoyance for sure. You're highly intuitive. The dark hues of black pearls enhance intuitive abilities. There you go. Guiding individuals in decision-making and self-awareness. That goes back to what we read about the black egg, about asking questions. They symbolize the pursuit of knowledge and the ability to see beyond the surface of situations. Seeing deeply. Dark hues of black pearls enhance intuitive abilities. Dark hues of black pearls enhance intuitive abilities. Okay. Number 3, protection. Across various cultures, black pearls are revered as talismans of protection. They are believed to ward off negative energies and provide strength to their wearers. This protection quality makes them valuable in spiritual practices. A talisman of protection. Talismans of protection, okay. Just like what I mentioned about the image, the light, the glow, embracing the black egg. The light is protecting the dark, the shadow. 4, emotional balance. Black pearls promote harmony and emotional healing. Harmony stood out to me. Their calming energy helps individuals process feelings and maintain composure during challenging times, fostering emotional stability. Okay, balance, balance. Synonyms for balance. Balance, harmony, stability, composure. These are likely qualities that you have or are developing. And the word harmony, as I said, stood out to me, which relates to the word sounds. Sounds, I believe, was mentioned when we were reading about the black egg. Also, the word stability made me think of the root chakra. Okay, number 5, cultural significance. In ancient cultures, black pearls were often linked to divine beings and were considered sacred. For instance, in Chinese culture, they symbolize wisdom and good fortune, while in Polynesian legends, they are seen as the tears of the gods, embodying divine sorrow and protection. Okay. Now, let's return to the image of the black egg. Excuse me. So looking at this image here, it also made me think Fabergé egg. So let's look into Fabergé eggs and see what messages or words, any synchronicities that may pop out at you. Okay, so the Fabergé egg. A Fabergé egg is a jeweled egg first created by the jewelry firm House of Fabergé in St. Petersburg, Russia. As many as 69 eggs were created during the Tsarist era, of which 61 are known to have survived. I'm going to stop there. I emphasized 69. So that made me think of 369. 1707 when I looked at the clock. 369. Nikola Tesla. We'll return to that. I'll read the end of this passage here. Virtually all of the original first edition eggs were manufactured under the supervision of Peter Carl Fabergé between 1885 and 1917. The most famous of the firm's creations are the 50 delivered imperial Easter eggs, of which 44, 44, you're probably seeing 44, right? Are known to be in of which 44 are known to be in complete or partial physical existence, leaving the fate of those remaining unknown. The eggs are very highly sought after collector's items. For example, the Fabergé winter egg was sold for US $30.2 million at auction in 2025. Well, reading about that there, let's see here. The eggs are very highly sought after collector's items. So that made me think, you have rare gifts. Sought after. Highly sought after. Okay, that's making me think of the star card in the tarot. Okay. The eggs were commissioned for the Russian Tsar Alexander III, 10 eggs, and Tsar Nikolai II, 40 eggs, as Easter gifts for Alexander's wife and Nicholas's mother, Empress Maria. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so we're just going to leave it at Maria. Empress Maria Feodorovna. Okay, I gave it a shot. And Nicholas's wife, Tsaritsa Alexandra Feodorovna. Fabergé eggs are worth large sums of money and have become symbols of opulence. 2 more Fabergé Easter Imperial eggs, bringing the total to 52, were designed but were not delivered. One egg, known as the Karelian birch egg, has sketches but is not confirmed to have actually been made, and the other, the blue Cesarevich, excuse me, I'm just going to give up there, constellation egg was only partially completed due to the Russian Revolution of 1917. Okay, Russian Revolution of 1917, maybe you're a history buff. Perhaps you are Russian, you have Russian heritage. More recently, Theo Fabergé, grandson of Peter Carl Fabergé, has created a series of eggs as part of the St. Petersburg book collection. Excuse me? Book. Okay. Has created a series of eggs as part of the St. Petersburg collection. Okay. I'm going to stop there. So let's just move on to the spiritual meaning of 369 after I read the phrase pertaining to 69 eggs. That's where my mind jumped to. So let's go to 369. Well, first let me read a few famous quotes by Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla's quotes reflect his profound insights on energy, invention, and the universe. Here are some of his most famous quotes. Okay, this might be one of his most famous ones, and I don't know too much about him, but I definitely heard this one. Perhaps you have as well. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration. Very crucial. He was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time, it seems. Okay, what else? What else? Okay, here's one I've not heard, but it's a good one. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. Okay, and this next one relates to the one I just read. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. So this core that he is referring to, there's lots of terms for it, but let's just call it the field. The infinite field of opportunities. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. And we all have access to this field. I don't know whether he actually literally meditated or if he just sat in peace, in stillness. But he received ideas for his invention from source. Okay. Now let's move on to 369, spiritual meaning. Okay. The number 369 holds profound spiritual significance, symbolizing creativity. Creativity. Balance. There's that word balance. And spiritual awakening, and is often associated with personal transformation and enlightenment. This is a very transformative time for you, for the collective in general. Okay. Overview of 369. The number 369 is often regarded as a powerful combination of the energies of the individual digits 3, 6, and 9. Each of these numbers carries its unique vibrations and meanings in numerology and spirituality. Number 3 represents creativity, self-expression, which relates very well to what we read about the black egg, about speaking your truth. And communication, well, there you go, and using your throat chakra. It encourages embracing your talents and sharing them with the world. It is also linked to joy and optimism, symbolizing growth and expansion. Yes, number 3 is often associated with expansion. So that makes me think of the 3 of Wands in the Tarot, as well as the Empress card. Let me just write down some notes. Okay, this part here, it encourages embracing your talents and sharing them with the world. So I'm thinking, if you haven't already started embracing your talents and sharing them with the world, this is a gentle encouragement from your spirit team to do so. But everyone has their own timing, right? When you feel inspired to do so, you will move, you will take action. Not out of a sense of obligation or pushing or forcing, you will just do it. You will feel inspired and you will just do it. Number 6 symbolizes balance, harmony, and nurturing. We already heard those words previously, right? When I was reading about the black pearl, also potentially about the black egg. Symbolizes balance, harmony, and nurturing. It is associated with love, family, and responsibility, urging individuals to care for themselves and others while maintaining equilibrium in their lives. Number 6, that makes me think of the 6 of Pentacles in the Tarot. Fair energy exchange. Okay, number 9 signifies completion, spiritual enlightenment, and humanitarianism. It encourages letting go of what no longer serves you and embracing your higher purpose. Yeah, that makes me think end of a cycle, right? End of a cycle, completion of a cycle. So very likely that is where you are on your journey right now. Okay, let's continue. Spiritual significance. 1. Personal transformation. The 369 angel number is often seen as a message from the universe, encouraging individuals to focus on their spiritual growth and personal transformation. It serves as a reminder to trust your intuition and embrace change. Yep, anticipate change. You're highly intuitive, so you can probably feel that big changes are a-coming. Okay, number 2, creative energy. The combination of these numbers emphasizes the importance of aligning your creative energy. So again, the focus on getting balance, finding your equilibrium. Okay, let me start over. The combination of these numbers emphasizes the importance of aligning your creative energy. 3, with balance and care. 6, to achieve spiritual fulfillment and closure. 9. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me start over. The combination of these numbers emphasizes the importance of aligning your creative energy pertaining to the number 3 with balance and care pertaining to number 6 to achieve spiritual fulfillment and closure pertaining to the number 9. It encourages individuals to express their creativity while nurturing their relationships. Strong emphasis on creativity. Number 3, community awareness. The number 369 also highlights the importance of being aware of your community and societal issues. It encourages individuals to engage with their surroundings and contribute positively to their communities. 4, health and well-being. Encountering the number 369 may indicate a need to pay attention to emotional well-being and seek balance in life. There's that word balance again. It can also suggest exploring alternative healing methods to improve overall health. There's so many different types of healing modalities, right? Okay, number 5, spiritual growth. The energies of 6 and 9 indicate a path toward spiritual enlightenment, encouraging practices such as meditation and prayer to access higher states of consciousness. Now, whether Nikola Tesla meditated or not, I believe whatever he did, sitting in stillness in order to receive brilliant ideas from source, that's what he did. He was in stillness, and through that stillness, he was able to access higher states of consciousness. Conclusion. In summary, the spiritual meaning of 369 encompasses a blend of creativity, balance, and enlightenment. It serves as a powerful reminder to embrace personal growth, nurture relationships, and engage with the community while pursuing spiritual fulfillment. Recognizing this number in your life can be a sign to align your actions with your soul's purpose and trust in your journey. Trust in your journey. Trust that you are on the right track. Okay. Okay. Whew. Let's move on to the oyster card. I thought that was quite synchronistic. I just was looking at this image, thought black pearl, and then later on I was like, oh, oysters, pearls. Okay, let's read about it in the guidebook. Patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. Ooh. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. That makes me think you are rare, and I think I mentioned you may have rare gifts. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. Okay. Did I mention something about that? Something about embracing your gifts when we were reading something. Oh dear. I don't know. I'll probably remember it later on, but okay, let's just move on. Whatever your gifts are, maybe, yes, you don't give yourself enough credit because for you, it comes very naturally. So you don't really consider it a gift or a talent. It's just, maybe you just feel like it's a part of you. It's just so innate, organic. They become shy or doubtful. Okay, feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, imposter syndrome. And this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. Yes, your gifts are your inner treasures. You have gifts inside of you, treasures inside of you. Source energy, yes, wants to express through you. You are source in form. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. Okay. I know, just to say that. Oh, just share something, especially if you've spent most of your life not sharing your inner treasures. It can be quite nerve-wracking, right? Easier said than done. But like I mentioned before, just go at your own pace. Little by little. Okay, let's read the symbolism about oysters. Transformation and resilience. Oysters are often seen as powerful symbols of transformation. They begin their lives as free-floating larvae and eventually settle down, forming hard shells around themselves. Oh, that stands out. Hard shells around themselves. So this kind of ties in with what I was just saying and what the guidebook was saying about hiding your inner treasures, your gifts, your talents. Feeling protective, reticent, reserved, not giving yourself enough credit, not realizing how gifted you are, how valuable your gifts are and can be when you share them with others. They begin their lives as free-floating larvae and eventually settle down, forming hard shells around themselves. This process mirrors personal growth, where individuals can turn life's irritants and challenges into sources of strength and beauty. We heard that word before when we were reading about the black egg, right? What stood out to me? Did I write it down? A pearl, yes. This is a note that I took in regards to the black pearl. A pearl is formed through an oyster's response to irritation. That mirrors one of the most crucial ways that we learn here in Earth School, right? As humans, we learn through contrast, through agitation, through crises, pain, suffering, and through the process of alchemy, we turn lead into gold, into something beautiful, into something that is more loving, more generative. Let me read that again. I keep interrupting myself. This process mirrors personal growth, where individuals can turn life's irritants and challenges into sources of strength and inner beauty, much like how an oyster creates a pearl from an irritant. The formation of a pearl, which can take years, serves as a reminder that meaningful transformations require patience and resilience. Okay, that's such a key point here, and I'm sure that Spirit wants us to really take that part in. Let me repeat it. The formation of a pearl, which can take years, serves as a reminder that meaningful transformations, not superficial, short-lived transformations, right? Meaningful transformations require patience and resilience. Makes me think of the seven of wands in the tarot and the Temperance card, as well as maybe even the Justice card. Okay, hidden treasures and inner beauty. The oyster's hard shell protects the delicate pearl inside, symbolizing inner beauty and the hidden treasures within each individual. Even the guidebook mentioned hidden treasures. This aspect encourages self-exploration, okay? Going back to what we read about the black egg, right? Being self-reflective, asking questions. This aspect encourages self-exploration and the discovery of one's unique qualities and potential. Unique qualities, yeah, rare qualities. The layers of the oyster also represent the complexities of life, and the importance of embracing vulnerability to reveal authenticity in relationships. Let me repeat that. The layers of the oyster also represent the complexities of life. Well, I can also add the complexities of the human condition, the complexities of being human. As humans, we are very complex, right? And the importance of embracing vulnerability to reveal authenticity in relationships. Okay, next point, cultural significance. Throughout history, oysters have held various meanings in different cultures. In ancient mythology, they were associated with feminine energy and fertility. Okay, often linked to goddesses like Aphrodite in Greek mythology, who represented love and beauty. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Feminine energy and fertility. So that makes me think of the Empress card. In Native American cultures, oysters symbolized abundance and were seen as gifts from the sea, representing nourishment and prosperity. In Chinese culture, oysters are considered symbols of good luck and fortune, further enhancing their positive connotations. Okay, spiritual practices. Incorporating oysters into spiritual practices can enhance one's connection to their deeper meanings. This can include using oyster shells for meditation, rituals, or as a reminder of the resilience and beauty that can emerge from life's challenges. The oyster spirit animal encourages individuals to tap into their intuition and navigate life's difficulties with grace and strength. In summary, oysters embody a rich tapestry of spiritual meanings, emphasizing transformation, resilience, and the beauty of hidden treasures within ourselves. They invite us to explore our inner depths and appreciate the journey of personal growth. Yes, learning to savor the journey, to be in the present moment instead of being future focused. Easier said than done, Spirit, but yes, perfection is not the name of the game here. It's not the name of the game. We're human beings, right? Okay, so what stood out to me there in reading about the oyster online? Well, yes, themes of resilience, transformation, hidden treasures, and the word potential, and making me, okay, it makes me look at this again. Ooh, 4440 on the clock. Oh, 4444 now. this foiled silver, the circle here, that made me think of a black pearl. You could say, in regards to potential, okay, I'm thinking of the mustard seed parable. Even a mustard seed, a real life mustard seed is smaller. It can fit inside this small circle on the card here. Faith, the size of a mustard seed, or as small as a mustard seed. I don't know the exact words, but you probably have heard that quote before. That's all we need. Faith, the size of a mustard seed. We do the best we can, considering that we are human beings. Okay. Yeah, it is the intention behind our actions, right? Our intentions. What's in our heart. Okay. All right, so that's 45 minutes. So I can pull one more card just to close out this session. But I thought that was very synchronistic that these two fell out. Black egg oyster, black pearl. Oh, that makes me think. Maybe was one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies something? Was the word black pearl in one of the films? Maybe you're a fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's. Bottom of the deck. Friendship, abundance, celebration. I believe abundance was mentioned when we were reading about the oyster, right? Okay. Anything? A closing message? Oh, interesting. Protection. Well, that makes me think about the oyster, right? The hard shell. Protection, frugality, holding on. Four of Pentacles. And also the egg too. Egg shells, right? The shell of the egg is protecting the yolk within. Oh, and by the way, I have an egg here as well. It's a crystal. It might be, I think it's rainbow fluorite. Makes me think of rebirth. Page of Cups. Unique, artistic, lighthearted. Okay, well, in reading about, well, the black egg, I believe it mentioned expression, creativity, right? And especially in reading about the spiritual meaning of 369, especially the number 3, the emphasis on creativity. So you're definitely creative. A creative soul. You're here to create. Wonderful. Okay. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. Yes. Hard work, dedication, skill, talent. Hidden treasures. There you go. In regards to the oyster, right? What we were reading on the internet. As well as in one of the, I can't keep up now. Like is it the oyster or black egg? Hidden talents was mentioned. Hidden treasures, I believe. With the hard shell. Okay, they become shyer. Look at it. Anything an oyster person puts their mind to, they can achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. Inner gifts for granted. They become, yes, shy or doubtful. Okay, so, and yes, the internet, what I read on the internet about the oyster mentions hidden treasures, right? Hidden potential. So you may be mastering a skill right now, mastering a gift of yours or multiple gifts at this time. Yep, and this hard work, this dedication at least, I don't like the word work. It's gonna pay off. You're keeping us in suspense, Spirit. Whew. I think I mentioned this card, right? I think I mentioned this, the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, looking optimistically into the future. How come I can't even find any of my notes? Okay, here you go. Three of Wands, waiting for your ships to come in. Looking optimistically into the future. Okay, yes, I remember. In regards to the number 3, right? It made me think the number 3 of expansion. Oh, here it is. I skipped a page, that's why. 3, creativity, self-expression, communication, embracing talents. That was some of the meanings of the number 3, the significance of the number 3, and it made me think of the Three of Wands, holding the vision, ships coming in. Right now, you may be in this energy, a protective energy, right? Holding on to your resources. Continue what you're doing at this time. Continue nurturing your talents, your gifts. And hold the vision. Maintain the vision. Yes, this is a very transformative time. Change, transformation, thresholds, the Death card. The Moon, number 18, the unknown, illusion, psychic awareness. We did mention that you are intuitive, quite intuitive, passionate, new beginnings and growth, sowing seeds. Yes, passion ignited. Whatever creative project that you're nurturing right now, developing, because I put the Ace of Wands, it ended up under the Eight of Pentacles. So this creative endeavor of yours lights you up. Moving on, leaving difficulties behind. Six of Swords. Making progress. From the Four of Pentacles. Okay, we're going to end it here. Thank you, Spirit. It took long enough. I have to cover her up here. 21, the World. Worldly success, achievement, triumph. So, keep nurturing your talents. The term that they used here, that I wrote down, hidden treasures, hidden potential. They will not remain hidden indefinitely. Your rarity will be seen. And that made me think of the black egg, right? Black eggs, I mean, they're quite rare. And this makes me think, looking at the image here, right? What I said about the light embracing the dark. This makes me think you are meant to shine light on the dark. What does that mean? Well, I'm thinking of softness, the pearls, softness inside the egg. Well, that just makes me return to looking, seeing beneath, seeing beyond illusion, seeing beyond the hard exterior to the heart within. That is one of the things, right? We mentioned clairvoyance, your ability to see deeply. The word insight mentioned, right? You are able to see beyond the surface of things. You can see through the dark. And I wrote here, right, about shadow work. You're not afraid of the dark. You have a deep understanding and insight. Yes. Clairvoyance, clear inner sight. And you can see through illusions, falsities. See people's inner beauty, because now you're starting to see your own inner beauty. As within, so without. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Take care.